So Big K.R.I.T, thank you for talking to the good folks at AFH TV and Ambrosia For Heads.
Yeah.
The album is K.R.I.T is here.
Yes, we here.
One of my favorites so far, man.
That means a lot.
Yeah, amazing. What inspired you going back and revisiting? It's not the same name, but revisiting the name of your classic mixtape.
For me, it was, first off, Rico Love challenged me at a music conference that he had right after Forever's My Long Time. Like, basically, like, I feel like you're doing your supporters a disservice by not making bigger music. Like, not working with other producers, just kind of staying in my comfort zone. And Mace is on stage too, so Mace looking, there's like 500 people in the room and shit. I'm like, okay, bet, maybe you're right. He's like, man, work with me for your album. Fuck it, let's do it. So I called Dutch, my manager, like, hey man, I'm gonna work with Rico on the whole album. And so it went from that to like literally getting in with Rico, Danger, all the producers he wanted me to work with. We're talking about Tay Beach, Wallace Lane, Don Corleone, which produced Addiction. You know what I'm saying? And then it was Wolf the Michaels, which I already had records with him, but it was literally like, I'm not gonna produce this whole album this time. I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna just be a lyricist, a write. And it opened me up to like have different cadences on different records. The creative criticism, it at some point it hurt, but it's like, all right, let me write again. Like, hey, that shit cool, you can go hard in that. And then just challenging myself. And it showed up on the album.
So you and Rico, did y'all first work together on K.R.I.T?
Pay attention. Yeah, but before that, Rico was the first person in New York to call me through to come be a part of a collaboration. Yeah. He was working with Salam Remy and Usher at the time. Yeah. And I'm in New York, I'm just moving around with Cinematic. And then we had to call Rico when we come through and like jump on this record with Usher. Yeah. So even then, and we're talking that's like 2010, 11.
Yeah.
Like, K.R.I.T, I fuck with your sound.
Yeah.
Come through and work.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of kept going. And Pay Attention was the second time working with him and Jim Johnson, you know what I'm saying? And then what we at now with Danger.
So what is it about Rico that connected you to him musically?
I think he's always had this hunger that started in the beginning, and it never really mattered how many placements he got, how much money he might have made, but it was still this want for people to understand that what he does is top tier. And I know what he's wrote, and I know what he's wrote for, but he still got that too. So when we get in the studio, it's like, man, bro, let's do this, let's do that. It's like this, it ain't no pushing me to the side and like, man, give me like 5 days. Like, K.R.I.T, you coming out? I'm there. Yeah. Or he literally came out on tour during the critically acclaimed tour and did like 3 dates with us, a K.R.I.T tour. So he rode on the bus. You know what I'm saying? Got his own hotel rooms and would come out and sing Pay Attention every night in certain cities. I had never experienced that before. And I know he got the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, he good. He been writing, but he on the bus with us. Like, grinding it out. Bro, you don't see that. And that showed me a lot, like, the humility.
So you opened yourself up to outside producers on K.R.I.T too. But this was the first time I think you never produced a single track.
I got one.
You got one?
One track on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't trust Wikipedia.
Yeah, you can't really. I got one track on the album, which is Blue Flame Ballet. Okay. And then after that, it's produced by separate producers. And all of them were able to make something for me that I wouldn't have made for myself. Okay. They flipped the samples different. They used samples I didn't know about. The drum cadences were totally different. And their vision of where they wanted me to be or what the cadence they wanted me to carry, they were me like, nah, K.R.I.T, maybe not like that. Do something like this, and then it's on me as an artist to execute that. Okay. And so it made for the best creative criticism I ever could have had.
So now, were you doing the Quincy Jones thing? Were you still kind of oversaw the overall sound, or you just completely relinquished
I let
control?
it go.
You let it
I was
go.
like Mike. I just let go.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think the Quincy Jones aspect came from the team, which. My manager Dutch was very much involved with who he wanted me to work with. Steve-O, which is my marketing manager, very much involved. Then Rico is there, you know what I'm saying? He's very much like, all right, boom, boom, boom. And then everybody outside from publicists, you know what I'm saying, to my DJs that I rock with, Wally Sparks, DJ DiBiase. Like, everybody was listening to the music, you know what I'm saying? And like, hey, bro, I like that, but maybe. And then me just having to internalize that and creatively not take it, you know what I'm saying, too personal, but just try to work hard.
Yeah.
And then my mix engineer, shout out to Michael, engineered by Wolf, because he was like, that shit whack. Like, he one of them. I'd be in there like, man, this shit whack, you go hard.
That's good. You need
so I need, but it was perfect for me at this time.
Yeah. So you said it let you relax and really focus on the writing.
Yes.
So how did it change the process of the writing?
I wasn't as fatigued. So I could write 2 verses, and everybody would come in and listen to the record. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, that's cool. Second verse is kind of redundant. Or maybe if you went this way, and then I could sit down and write 2 more verses and create a whole nother aspect of what I got to talk about to the hook or to the beat, in which to me kind of gave it more time to like focus on what we know. The beat jamming, the hook is right there, and then we just not shoving it off. It's like, nah, bro, let me keep working on it. Had I made the beat, I know what I want to say on it. The hook, I might take a day off or 2 days off, and then the energy isn't the same.
Yeah.
I was literally like, it'll be 11 o'clock, and then I'm writing. I get done with it, recorded by 12:30. Everybody's they ate, they sleepy, they might go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, maybe this not hitting enough, let me write again. I write again in the morning, we replay it for everybody. Like, this the one.
Yeah.
But I never had that kind of, I would say, energy or like perseverance if I was making it myself, because I'm fatigued by the time I write the first version of it.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned changing up your cadences too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always done that, but like on this one, you got multiples.
Wow.
Outer space, I've never heard you flow like that. What inspired that?
I didn't make it. It's okay. Like, the kick drum and the snare was placed differently. Family Matters is like probably the slowest like beat on the album, but it gave me these pockets that reminded me of Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt, right? So like, whatever I say has to be very impactful every 2 bars. I can't just fluff over it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm rapping fast and like every 2 bars, boom, in your face with it. So when you get beats like that, it's like, damn, it's like it opened me up to be just a little different. My cadence has changed, my enunciations changed, my inflections changed. High beams gives me the opportunity to sing, right? And I can change up how I feel on that record, but when we perform it, then you understand it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then you got Blue Flame Ballet, which I'm emoting or evoking Boosie Collins and that funk vibe that you don't hear as much anymore, but with strip club elements. Because Money on the Floor, Temptation, we was in the strip club, but now I would like to hear like some Curtis Mayfield or some Bobby Womack in the strip club. That'd be dope. But if the youth don't know about that, nobody's making that shit, let me try it. And so, but now we hear Blue Flame Ballet in the strip club and they dance in a way like, damn, that shit hard. But it's just being challenged as a writer for the first time. And it took a lot for me to get out of my comfort zone with that. But it allowed me to experiment with what I gotta say a little bit more. And I think it shows on this album, which is gonna make it difficult next album.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why is it important to have multiple flows?
Oh man, I think I know what kick drum I want to use, what snare I want to use. Normally, samples I've heard, I Shazam or whatever, and I'm gonna flip it my way. I get in with these producers, and they might be aware of my music. They might see me in a different place or different space, or they might like, man, this would be a great record for you to do with this person. And what I have to do is find that humility in myself as an artist to collaborate. You know, it's a collective effort to make something great. And us as rappers, we do it all the time when we do features and we do hooks. But the producer in me has never been as open to like just, hey man, what kick you think? What hook you think? What snare you think? This is the first time I'm like, I got a sample. I don't know how to flip it. I know you know how to play instruments. What you think about this? And then we create something grand. And so now my dreams still come true because I've used this sample I've been listening to for 4 or 5 years. And then I'm working with a producer I want to work with, and an artist in me gets to write over it. And it becomes K.R.I.T here, right? It becomes this record, and, oh snap, like it becomes Make It Easy. I've been listening to Jimmy Butler for years. That particular record I did not know how to flip. Give It to Camper. Talking about what, 35 minutes? Make it easy on your drum patterns. Now I'm in the pocket with it. And so I realized that damn, I need that. Like somebody just in the moment they were excited, they made it. Me, I put pressure on myself because I've been listening to it before I could produce the way I produce now. and it takes time.
Yeah.
When I produced Take Care of Mama, I Just Touched Down, I was a youth and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna flip it. Now it's like if I hear something, I'm like, I gotta give me some days, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's pressure to put on your shit instead of being in the moment.
Yeah. Being in the moment, you start the album with Crit Here. That's in the moment. It sounds like a victory lap.
Yeah.
What are you celebrating with this album?
I'm planting my flag. My flag is planted. Look, man, I'm over 300 songs. I work with people. I got a song with B.B. King, man. You know what I'm saying? Praying, man. I've been able to change the narrative of when people might listen to an artist from Mississippi, right? Or from Meridian, Mississippi. To be a country boy, to be a Southern, maybe people might think twice before they throw that CD out the window. Like, man, let me check this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've also been able to talk about my anxiety, my depression, to be able to help my family and create jobs for people I know. Like, and we still here, and we independent, and it's more time than the sun now. Come on, man. And we still growing, man. It's just literally, I feel like a new artist all over again, which is even crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you come full circle from Cripples here. You know, you did everything, you came back, independent. How's your life played out differently than what you envisioned it as when you dropped that next year?
When I dropped Cripples here, I thought signing a deal was the end be all. Like, it was like, you get the money now, you get the opportunities, and you learn that's when the hard work starts. Because being independent is like, you got your own private plane, you got your own airport runway, and you take off, and then they're just watching you fly where you can fly. When you're on a major, you're on a, that's plane, backdoor plane, they gonna take off before you gotta wait, you on this tarmac, you can't, and it feels good to literally be in a position where when the album is done, I play it for my folk, my family, and then we drop it. We don't have to play it for a boardroom of people that don't get it. I don't have to sell you on what the single is. The single is this is the single. That's what we running with, and we run with it, and then we tour off of it, and then it grows.
We make it easy.
We make it easy. Yeah.
So, you know, you said on that song that a lot of your success comes from word of mouth. How much is that grassroots, brick by brick, where you built your fan base, contributed to your longevity?
Man, my longevity is based off of the support, obviously. Because those people that's in the barbershops, that's arguing in the beauty shops and in classrooms, like K.R.I.T belong here, boom, 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 or they watch the award shows, they be like, wow, boom, boom, boom. Like, that's the street team. That's the people that's streaming, that's the people that's playing the songs over and over again. They still go buy the physical album, the vinyl record, the merch, you know what I'm saying? They come to the shows. I tell people all the time, the shows are like family reunions. I've been seeing these people for years, from when they were single, then they was at the show and they got together, then they got married or engaged, they got married, they had a kid, they showed me pictures of the baby, you know what I'm saying? And we've grown. They see my life, I see theirs, and then every year we come back around and we celebrate again because it all started from a moment or a concept.
So we've talked a lot over the years about your musical influences. I know the Bobby Womack you just talked about,
Curtis Mayfield,
people like that, UGK,
Outkast, 8 Ball, MJG, 3 6 Mafia.
Where does Lil Wayne fit in that equation?
Wayne up there with, I would say Wayne is up there with the boldness to say he's the greatest rapper alive. Now, mind you, Wayne lyrically is, I think Wayne, Bun B, and Andre 3000 are like kind of lyricists that are really unmatched. And I think it was just weird to see what was happening at the time. Bun was doing what he was doing at a time where Southern music wasn't either being paid attention to enough, or he was so legitimized in the South that once that Big Pimpin' happened, it was like this brand new thing, and it's like, oh, it was UGK, boom, boom, but Murder had been came out, and I understood that verse, like, how did he do all of this in one take, like, you know what I'm saying, his verse and his vernacular, even on Big Pimpin', the way he was rapping, was like, nobody's rapping like this. And then Jay-Z had also utilized one of his bars from years before that, but I knew what it was, but most people didn't know. Wayne at the time was another artist where you like, you talking about, you seen him go from Hot Boys, all this, to legitimate just Wayne rapping on East Coast beats. I remember when Florida really started popping off with Cool and Dre, changing his float in, the inspiration behind like patois and all that. He was incorporating all of the what's the word? The rhythms in some of the records and stuff. And it was like, this is bigger than just being a rapper. Like, you're more in tune with singing and intellect, or like emoting your way throughout the music. Andre 3000 to me is the best rapper alive, because I go back and I still hear things he said that I'm like, damn, not only would I have not said that, I finally understand what you was talking about. Like, you lost me when I was in high school, but I became a grown man, got in a relationship, and like, damn, now I get what you're saying. Right. To me, that's bigger than putting similes and metaphors together. And if you understand the art of music, you know how to make words rhyme.
Yeah.
But can you tell me something 20 years from now that's gonna relate to me in that moment? That's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, and so that's interesting because Wayne, you know, a lot of people know Wayne as Punchline Wayne, Mixtape Wayne.
It's bigger than that.
You got conceptual Wayne. Like, he put together a record about addiction, and a different kind of addiction that I've heard you talk about in the past. Why did you choose Wayne for that?
I mean, because even if you think about Wayne, he's gonna make it where it's relatable, and it's still gonna be where it fits on radio too. Because if you think about what he's saying and some of the things he's talking about, yeah, we're obviously talking about them being addicted to a woman, but there's also small narratives in there about addiction as well, and being stuck to something so close. My first 8 bars is about liquor. It's not about a woman. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you been in this game, you understand, like, man, I can give you a message. It's like putting the medicine in good food. Wayne been putting medicine in good food for a long time, and he's definitely changed. I remember Bun B told me, like, Wayne is like one of the most influential artists, like, of hip hop, because everything he started to do, like the way he started to move, like, we talking about the youth don't remember when he first came out, but they remember when they first heard him, and they influenced a lot of the way they move now, like tattoos, the rhyme scheme, like, yeah, man, you can't take that from him. Man.
So you had Jill Scott on your last album,
yes,
and you sample her heavily in energy. What does her voice and music do for you?
So Jill Scott on my last album, because she's the only person I could hear on that particular. Well, I got in the studio with her, and I had 2 records. I had another record that she was supposed to go on, jump on. I ain't gonna talk about that. Played both of them. She was like, I wanna be on that one, which is Higher Calling. She's like, cause that'll give me the opportunity to emote. And I didn't have a hook on Higher Calling, right? And she, you know, we're in the studio. She's like, I got something, and she goes in and then comes up with the hook for it. I already had the verses, but the hook was just so like, oh my god. And it was like, that was the first time I ever heard about the idea of emoting, like creating emotion, and in the records. And it just, it's like, wow. Like, and I'm like, everybody's smiling, the engineer's smiling, my man's a Dutch smiling, I'm smiling because she glows. But it was such this humble thing around it too, where she just didn't mind sharing information with me about creating and just life and stuff like that. So that's definitely not only my OG, but she's special to me, right? And then, you know, from having her on the album, it just kind of showed me how to kind of move as far as working with other people too. Like, not necessarily always having the concept already in brick. This is what I want. Like, kind of giving people space to breathe on the record and say what they want to say.
You talk about emoting and the emotions that records provoke. When I heard Every Time I Hit You.
Hey, yeah, you told me, yeah.
I ran it back.
You did it one more again, brother.
And again, man. And it's, you know, first of all, the sports metaphors took it to a whole different level.
Yeah.
Right? But, yeah, it was a real interesting contrast to me because the chords are sad and heavy. Yeah. But you've given a real positive, inspirational message. So how did you come up with, like, contrasting that sound with the way the lyrics were?
Wallace Lane produced that record. So shout out to the homies. Then you got Baby Rose, which sounds like Billie Holiday. And Baby Rose is like a vinyl record sample that she's like, damn, man, am I the only person that heard this? Like, yeah, you might be. Like, let me sample that before everybody else. So being able to have on the record, she was able to bring this. It all reminds me of like Booby Miles back in the day, like this classic kind of feel to it, where it kind of stands alone, and you want to resample it too. And then I come in, and so just the idea of, and again, this comes with the confidence of, man, all these years I've been making music. Like, I feel like I've been competing with myself and I've been winning now. You know, maybe I didn't realize it back then, but it's like, man, I'm independent. I got more time. We do what we want to do. Like, we perform in front of people that want to see us perform. Shows sell out. We have fun. And, yeah, it's like every time I've been winning. And it's these small parts of winning. Like, man, it ain't, man, when I go home and the love I get, like, seeing people being able to have records like drinking sessions in the event, like to be in the game for 10 years plus, and people still want to hear me rap, I've been winning. And so every time was like kind of not only me reminding people of that, but reminding myself, like, man, it's all good. Like, it's fourth quarter, like, it's cool. Like, we gonna get W. It's gonna just take some time. It's gonna be the road less travel. It's gonna be the play nobody wants to run. We gonna get the touchdown. So that's kind of what it feels like. My career feels like the play nobody wants to run, and we get the touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I still run it when I need it, man. Listen.
Man, and her voice is just, it's like right there with you.
Yeah. So speaking of crazy samples, whose idea was it to flip Saturday Love like that?
Whoa. What record we talking about? Because now I didn't produce it. Mind you, I only produced one record on the album.
Okay.
And that's not mine.
I think it was Believe.
Oh, yeah, that's Danger for.
Yeah.
That's Danger his clique, so peep it.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful.
That's Jam and Terry.
Yeah, I know. But you gotta be, I didn't produce that. So once you said that, I was like, shit, I just know, I remember. But it reminded me of like something that DJ Screw would have sampled and screwed up. And so once I heard, I was like, this Texas. This feel like Texas. So it was like, And side note, Nip, I wanted Nip to get on the second verse. I ran into the homie in Atlanta. We supposed to be on the second verse of Believe, and it never worked out because of what happened to the homie. So I couldn't see anybody else finishing that. Like, I had to do it myself. And that shit hurt, bro. That shit hurt.
No, that hurt everybody. For a long time. It still does. You know, and that's a heavy record, and we also talk about being a better father figure than your father ever figured. And going back, so we worked together. We did this piece on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know. And on that song, you said your father told you the older you get, it's even harder to believe. So have you found that to be true?
Definitely. I mean, because the way time works and like. In this game, I feel like in music industry, entertainment industry, or even the art world, it's like a time capsule. So we become like very involved, and we do what we do every day. And some phone calls we don't make. Sometimes we don't go home. We don't see people we used to see. Like, not only family reunions, high school reunions, we don't make it to. And then you up and go home one day and you see people and they be like, damn, you look the same. And you be like, damn, you don't. Or you've aged, or time has changed, or your niece and your nephew are older, you ain't seen them in a while, you remember when they was babies. So for me, it's like, it just started to like reflect on an idea of believing and reflecting. It's like kind of trying to slow everything down a little bit. The time I spend with my family, like, you know, instead of just, all right, man, let's go to the casino room, boom, like, man, let me take some time out to just rest, talk to y'all, how y'all doing? Even with the shows, man, like, I really try to sit back and chill and enjoy the meet and greets, when we hug, like, let's embrace, like, let's make this a little longer than what we used to, because I don't know if I ever see you again. It's one of those, and so it's giving people their flowers right on top side of this earth. And then, obviously we all come from different walks of life, and you see tragedies happen, even like what happened with Nip, and it changes your perspective of what you've been chasing in this entire industry, because you finally started to get that shine and get that glow, but people would rather you as an individual than what you were able to give them financially.
Absolutely. So, you know, we talked about this off camera before, but on Obvious, you list a lot of lifestyle changes you'd be willing to make for that special woman. In reality, you did that a few years ago. You shed a lot of weight, your skin's looking great, and you've maintained it. How have you been able to maintain those changes over the years?
I maintain those changes because as we get older, as you know, getting on that stage, you know, doing what we do or moving around isn't as easy. But those changes were definite. Well, they were inevitable at some point. I mean, when you focus on your career sometimes you let go of what things are health-wise in order to sustain a certain amount of success. So I started to realize that there was no way I was going to keep up with the success I was gaining if I wasn't physically healthy. And the woman that I was with at the time was aware of the toll that my physicality had been playing on me in order to take care of my family, to get more, to hit the stage every night. And so when you got somebody right there in front of you that loves you and you love them too, they'll be brutally honest with you in the moment, and then they'll seek out ways to like, all right, take this vitamin, or maybe don't drink today, or let's eat this. And then, you know, before long you start to see the changes in yourself. Like, damn, I wake up and I don't have a headache, I'm not hungover. Like, oh, this alkaline water is busting. Like, oh, that's good. Like, you know, and then you take on those things, and whether it works out or not, you remember like, this is healthy for me because this person only wanted to see me healthy. They weren't taking something from me that was giving me more time to do what I'm going to do.
So I don't think you've worked with Cole since that track you, him, and Kendrick did with K.R.I.T.
No, Cole is on Prove It.
He's on Prove It.
He's on Prove It. Yeah.
Well,
so that was yeah. So okay, you ain't finished the question. My bad.
Yeah. So y'all got together on Prove It. Was that a true story that he told about the fan Felicia?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Prove It for him, and that she's a real person.
That's crazy.
So it was this whole thing after the verse came out where she was interviewed a few times, but she's a real person. Yeah, and I think it also gave, because the first half of that particular record is more militant. And when I wrote it I wrote it around the time that they were stopping all the people trying to cross the border and separating children from the parents, and the whole Trump administration and all that. And so I was just thinking about, man, I can't imagine if I'm in a position and I'm like telling my kids like, they won't separate us. You know what I'm saying? It's either, if you believe in me, prove it, because I'm gonna show you how to stay. Right. And so having Cole verse bring it together more in a way where if you hadn't experienced that, then maybe you experienced somebody that believed in you so much and you didn't expect it. You know what I'm saying? So it gave it definitely a more worldly round view to it.
So you mentioned the border. Your song Saturdays Equal Celebration.
Yes.
You're using Sicario.
Yeah. It's using a lot of movies.
Atlanta.
The movie with not Jet Li, Jackie Chan. He was trying to,
It was used in the most recent episode of Power.
Power, yeah.
So what is it about that song that makes it so cinematic?
Oh man, well first off, I remember writing this song and creating it, and then having what's the homie name? Jamie. There's the homie singing on the hook. I can't. Jamie and Commerce.
Okay.
Singing on the hook. But even when I wrote it, it was just about trying to create this song where people could relate to the days of the week, obviously, and then when you would obviously choose to celebrate. And so it's about having to let go of someone, and then not. I mean, obviously we go through changes and tragedy, but if you tie it into like the weekdays and when people normally celebrate when they're having fun, it would change the narrative. But then at some point you have to let me go. And I think between his voice and the grit, and it sounding very old school Johnny Cash's, and then to what I was having to say as far as like society and reflecting on it, I think it just like it's a great record at the time. And again, timeless music, it makes for great for cinema. You know, and like that one moment where it's like Saturdays are celebration, like
Yo, so you just released a video from Mississippi.
Yes.
Dope video. You went back home.
Yep.
You've continually gone back, you know.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to continue to return to your roots like that?
Because I need people to see where I'm from, so they start coming into. So for me, it's like I've shot videos out in Cali. I've been in Texas. I've been in Atlanta. Shot videos in New York. These are places that are metropolitan cities most of the time. People take vacation destinations. Meridian, Mississippi, I need people to start coming by there and seeing what we've been able to do. There's a Mississippi Music Museum that's there. Thank God I'm in it, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. The studio there is amazing. Like the culture and the interaction. And I want people to start, instead of driving through it, to start stopping. And the only way to start doing that is to kind of not only relieve people of what they've seen throughout the years in Hollywood, but to show that I'm not only still proud of it, but I'm willing to film the way it feels now too, right? And then people are, the Southern hospitality is very humble, man. Like you come down there, people, man, you want to come in and eat. Like it's one of those, like come on eat, like I'm gonna cook for you, like let's go down here, like, and the whole city will show up for it because we know like it's a gold mine as far as culture and creativity, like music. It just movies have put people in a position where they don't want to come. Trying to change that narrative. Yeah.
So I got one last question for you. What would the man who wrote K.R.I.T Here admire the most about the man who wrote K.R.I.T Is Here?
Wow. The man that wrote K.R.I.T Is Here was willing to stand on the brand, stay true to himself, and understand his worth more than ever. I wrote K.R.I.T Was Here, and as soon as the first deal came through, I was with it. I didn't understand that if I would have waited 11, 12 months later, I would have been on the XXL cover. My worth would have been up way higher. I would have had more opportunities on the table. I could have negotiated. I did what I did because I was like, oh, it's the chance. I would never. No, 2019, K.R.I.T Is Here is like, okay, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drop something else. I'm gonna take my time. And that's not even from a financial gain. That's from I know what I'm doing gain. Like I know that every time I drop something, I change the narrative for myself. I change the shape of how another artist may decide to work. Visually, how they might decide to shoot their video. How they might decide to go about their show. I've dropped mixtapes that I know people have heard and then will go back and turn into albums, or conceptually albums. Because back in the day, a mixtape was you put it out and everybody breathes, but if you don't have a financial push to push it, somebody could take that entire idea and make it an album. And you can't dispute it because the consumer is like, oh, this is the first time I heard that. If they weren't on Dat Piff, they weren't on live mixtapes, they weren't on Ambrosia For Heads, they weren't on Hip Hop DX when it first started, all hip hop when only was putting 4 songs up, they wouldn't know that you were the first person to do it. I know better now. So yeah, you know.
Big K.R.I.T Is Here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
Oh,
you know we've been around this for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.